Ryan Greenspan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wolf Den. Here we have a very, very special interview. We've never done it like this before, and I'm changing it up because I've got a good friend in the house. We are at Paintball Explosion in the bar area, the lounge, what have you. And first let me do a quick interview, not a quick interview, a quick explanation of who this person is. He's still a young man, even though he doesn't think he is sometimes. He's literally one of the best paintball players in the world. Probably top 3 or 5 in history. And he didn't tell me to say this. I'm just telling you this. One of the hardest working guys in the game. Almost all forms of social media. Now a father. And he's still doing it every time. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a round of applause for Mr. Ryan Greenspan?
Thanks, dude. What an introduction. Wow. Thanks, everybody.
So, this is the Wolf's Den where this is not a regular paintball interview.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you when you started playing, what's your favorite game, yada yada. We're just going to do it a little different and stuff.
Sure.
You do tournament-style paintball.
Yep.
You started way back whenever kids were small and stuff.
Kids are small.
Things have changed. You're a family man now.
Yeah.
How has that changed how you approach the game?
Well, that's a good question. You know, like that's one of those things that when we're younger, you know, you're not really ever thinking or worrying too much. You're like I'm gonna still kind of keep going. But definitely changed quite a bit. You know, weekends away are more difficult. You know, it's like. I mean, I obviously always like to go back home. Live in San Diego.
Yeah.
I've got a beautiful fiance, and but no, having the kid makes traveling a little bit more difficult, you know, especially now because she's turning 4 and it's like she knows that I'm gone, you know. So like the first year, I'm like, oh, thank God, I go in my own bed, you know.
Yeah, that's very different.
But
if you travel a lot for paintball, you know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
we're on the road.
Yeah, I just travel a lot for work, same sort of thing. You know, it's there's little things you appreciate when you do get to leave, and it's actually also refreshing. You know, in a relationship, it's actually refreshing for both to kind of do a little reset. You know, traveling a little bit. You know, you're gone for the weekend. It's like, we miss each other a little bit more. Like, all right, just gotta get out of each other's hair for a little, for a day or two. You know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more difficult. And obviously makes everything makes me appreciate everything a little bit more. You know, I gotta be as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, it's like a whole new I gotta spend get my time in. You know.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes you travel to an event for like a week. But now you're probably cutting it down to like a weekend now type of thing.
Yeah, well, it's actually funny. I mean, so I just turned 40 this year.
Wow.
So I know that's a drop in the bucket for you.
No, hey, easy now, bro.
But I kicked off my 40th in February with a big snowboard trip. I was gone for like 3 days. No big deal. And then this.
Okay, just to point this out, he lives in L.A.
San Diego.
So, San Diego. Same thing for people who are not in the U.S. He just needs to drive 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours to go snowboarding.
Okay, all right.
But I went on like a helicopter trip. Like I went Jesus. I need my serotonin or my dopamine levels need to be like I need to have something really because I play paintball.
I know.
I go out there and we're running around shooting at each other. There's a lot of exciting stuff that we get to do, you know. And so I decided to treat myself. I never really go out and treat myself. I know that traveling is an incredible luxury and it's insane that I get to travel around the world.
Yeah.
But coming off of 2020, 2021, all of the European and Australian events have been canceled.
Okay.
For me, and so I hadn't really flown. I hadn't really traveled. We just do the local events, and I've been doing a lot of work with teams in the Los Angeles area, the Southern California area.
Okay.
So, this is my first big trip. So we went I brought Alex Frazier with me.
Nice.
And then, so that was a little one. Then I just recently did a trip I was in Chicago and went straight to Paris after that. So that was like a 11, 12-day trip. And it's funny when I do a weekend trip. I call it a weekend, even though I fly out on Friday and I get home on Monday.
Well, that's a week. That's what I do too.
Yeah. Not as easy to convince the fiance about that one. She's like, well, that's actually 4 days. There's only 7 days in a week, so that's
See, that-
more than half the week.
That changes when you have kids.
Yeah.
They notice that a lot more.
But I did do a really long trip. I went to Indonesia for 17 days or something like that. Ooh. Yeah, that was way too much. I'm not doing that again.
Did you see Mr. Is it White Cloud?
Oliver? No, not on this trip.
Okay.
So the last time I was in Indo, actually, I brought Camille and Sloan out there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in 2019 or 2020 actually.
Now, for those who don't know, Camille and Sloan are his fiance and daughter.
And daughter, yep.
And how old is she now?
She will be 4 on December 5th. So she's going to come to World Cup celebration.
Oh, really?
Came last year. Yeah, she loved it. She had a blast.
I saw that.
Yeah, she's in there. She was on stage with us. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, a weird question is that after I had kids, I could not watch CSI New York anymore.
Okay.
Because it was all about kids getting hurt.
Okay.
Like, what's one thing that changed you as a dad that you didn't think would
That's very
change?
specific. That's really funny. I don't know. You know, you're definitely more cautious and careful. You know, like I like to think that that's tough. You know, it's really tough to say. I mean, one thing that changed, and this is really funny. I'll never forget this. Is what my buddy from college said. He was like, "You gotta have kids. It's all so great."
Yeah.
One thing that changed is you can play on playgrounds and parks without being weird. And like playing with toys and like Legos. She's like, "Hey, Dad, can we build some Legos?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like, okay, how can we do? And I'm like,
and you started building
and
a whole mansion. mansion.
I'm like, watch out. So you want to put this one, put this one right.
You're using that 2x4 wrong.
Get out of here. Let me do that. You know? So I guess
so
that's
true.
one thing that you do that you don't expect that you'll have done. Like,
Bro,
you know,
I
like,
was chasing my kids on the playground, like on the jumping jack. Like I was going crazy, chasing, playing tag with the kids and stuff. It was
there's
crazy.
little things that you don't.
And the
really
police
know.
don't get called on you.
Yeah,
for being grown up there.
exactly.
That's insane. But that's how we evolve, right? Like, it's crazy. You inspire a lot of people in this game, and which is huge. And that part of our job for this whole paintball thing is to inspire people. What is someone or an athlete, not paintball related, that inspires you?
That's tough, man. It's that's actually it's interesting you ask that because I've had these types of questions asked throughout my career. It's kind of like where do you draw inspiration from, and what do you like? I don't know. It's really hard.
Let me
for
give you
me
an
to say.
example.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when I say athlete or something, like one of the guys who inspired me, like I was a skater growing up and stuff. Sean White, was one of my inspirations,
Right?
Because I was a skater, I was a snowboarder. He did both.
Yeah.
Then he came out with his own video game. I mean, I could also say Tony Hawk, but he didn't snowboard, right?
Right.
But that's like one of the guys who are like, I'll go on Instagram and see what he's doing. Like, Jesus, I got to step my game up.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like The Rock or something
step
like
my
that.
game up. No, you're absolutely right. I don't know. It's hard for me to like really grab inspiration because it's kind of like something that we're doing. We're doing everything. We're kind of paving the way a lot of the ways within paintball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the guys on the team it's inspiring to how they do
That team being
Dynasty.
Okay.
Dynasty. You know, and it's actually really cool to see the dynamic of every player and every person dealing with their own personal stuff and how everybody else overcomes and like their work ethic and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's I can't really pinpoint like any specific historical figure or any other athlete, you know, like that I'm like, dude, I need to work harder like that person, or I need to do that. It's like that's something that I feel that I can just kind of conjure up myself, and I don't know, and that sounds kind of strange, but I just don't know that everybody. I don't know. I can't figure something out. I follow now. Don't get me wrong. I follow like all those guys also. Like I watch their careers and I do think it's pretty. I mean, to be able to win Olympic medals or medals in like 2 different sports, like you're looking at Shaun White and like some of the surfers and stuff like that, like do some of these things that are really seemingly impossible to do.
Yeah.
It seems like and any athlete really that can excel in their sport and really.
And it's funny because you're meeting a whole bunch of people here this weekend that you've inspired, like a whole bunch of Dynasty fans, Ryan Greenspan fans, and they're coming to play tomorrow.
Right.
Actually, did you shoot Ryan?
He almost shot Ryan today. I
come
shot
up here,
him.
Come here. Hey guys, listen to this kid for a second.
What's up?
Okay, what's your name?
Jake,
And how old are you, Jake?
15.
Okay, so we were playing with Jake today on the new field, on the new map on Shipment. This little badass comes with another player, comes up behind us, It was actually both. Yeah, it was you. Come here. Come here. Hold on. No. This is legit. Come here. Come nice and close. We're playing Shipment, one of the new maps on Paintball Explosion.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan were on the same team. These two little scumbags flank up. Give me your name for a second.
Ryan Speaker.
Right. Name is Ryan Speaker. And your name?
I'm Jake.
15 and 17?
Yes, sir.
These two guys come up behind us. I died seconds before you came up, so thank goodness. I didn't need that. And they came up behind us and took out half of our team.
Yeah, leading the push was me shooting out Blake Yarborough.
Say that a little louder. Say that one more time, a little louder.
The lead of the push was me shooting out Blake Yarborough right in the face.
And then,
love that.
and then you used him as a human shield.
Now, do you guys know who this is?
That's Ryan Greenspan.
Okay. And have you watched him play before?
Yes.
Yeah?
I watched him at NXL Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think has he inspired you in any way? You think?
Actually, yeah, I actually want to start playing speedball now after that.
Exactly.
Seriously.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you. Can we give these guys a round of applause, please?
Let's go.
That's crazy. Like that's part of the reason why it's good to have guys like you out here, because when regular people can come out and hang out, and play with you.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I
and get a
love
chance to
doing these
shoot
types of events. I mean, you get to do these all the time, but it's cool because, yeah, like you said, we're playing alongside of everybody. That's why we love promoting these ones. That's why we're also doing everything with the Champions Club to get a lot of our fan base to these events to play alongside of us and with us and you know, lead the charge in battle.
Yeah. Now, what does Ryan? What do you do on the side for paintball? Like I said, do you have your own gun line?
Well,
I know you've been working with a new brand named Hormesis. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah. So actually, Alex and Oliver started Hormesis and the headbands. Now they're doing the Hormesis attire stuff.
Okay.
The biggest project that we're working on is with Field 1 and our Field 1 Force. So I have a signature series Force, which is the one you saw today with the black and the red with the gold on it.
Dopeness. Okay.
But man, we've got a lot of projects. You know, Field 1's kind of expanding. You know, we work really closely with JT. You know, we've got a new custom signature line of jerseys every event for Dynasty. I work with Team USA and the North American Paintball Federation, trying to get paintball into the Olympics. Which is
Good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're right there. We're close.
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly, a lot closer than you guys would think.
Okay.
So that's something that's going okay. Maybe a little slower now, but there will be an Olympics in LA, I believe, in 2026, and that was kind of what we were pushing for. But lots of maybe it's 2024. I'm not sure.
Has there been a point in your career where you almost wanted to leave and almost wanted to quit, and then maybe someone or something has brought you back?
Yeah, you know, back kind of like in the early 2000s, like the 7, 8, 9, kind of 10 area, when the team wasn't doing incredibly well. Also, it was just the dynamic of the players that were on the team made playing on it not as fun, and it's just kind of really difficult. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the reason I'm still playing, is because of the guys around us, you know, like how excited everybody is. Yosh and Alex still in it with me. And, you know, there's definitely been some times when it's just like, I don't want to get on this plane. Yeah. Definitely been in that position. You know, like I used to play in Australia 4 events out of the year, and I would literally leave on Wednesday night, get there Friday morning, play paintball Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and fly on the first flight Monday. You know,
That's
like
rough.
You're on the plane for 32 hours or 40 hours, and you're on the ground for 72. You know, it's like, so doing like that type of thing, or back to back, or you have to go to Asia right afterwards. It's like when we were on the grind pretty hard for those ones, it was like, I don't know if I want to get on this airplane, you know? So you get a little burnt out towards the end of the year, but definitely found a newer passion and newer like fire kind of lit the last like 5 or some odd years, where paintball is like way more fun again, and it's just like we're having a lot more fun. The competition, maybe we just don't treat it as I don't know, we don't treat it as it was before. It's like we just kind of like play and have a lot more fun on the team. And so that's a really key fundamental part to make sure that like when we talk to other teams that are coming up, you know, like you got to understand it too. It's like you got to make sure when you're going out there you're having fun, right? Like you got to make sure. But when we're practicing and then you go to the event and you're like, and you go practice and practice and practice, and then you go to the event. It's like,
what changed that? What made you get into it again?
It could be just like some of the roster changes that we had. We had some guys on the team that were just a little bit more like energetic and positive energy. I think positive energy is a really big factor.
Huge.
And then just like, I don't know, having fun again.
Yeah.
Like at practice,
That's
we'll do
it.
like fun drills and
Good.
it's just a lot of things kind of pivoted into that. And Rusty Glaze, when he started coaching us, that helped out quite a bit. Definitely changed the dynamic of the team a little bit more.
Okay.
Having
That makes
somebody,
a big difference.
Yeah, and I think that's a big factor. And a lot of divisional teams ask, it's like, how do you go through this? Because like in the divisional ranks, you're paying to go every weekend and just grind and beat your head against the ground. And you're like, dude, this is my time. This is like my free weekend. I gotta spend a couple $100, and then like so and so didn't show up, or this person went out last night, and like no one's taking it seriously. What am I doing with my time? And so we always talk about ways to just like, dude, do something fun when you're at practice. Like do this, like a random bunker draw, or like you guys make a little bet, or like do little things that make the game and the day a lot more fun. We got Alex challenging everybody with the coin duel stuff.
Yeah.
Just a way to kind of like make things a little bit more fun. And I think that's a really big factor.
Okay.
Having fun.
That's huge.
Ladies and gentlemen in the audience,
Anyone got a cool question for Ryan?
What got you into paintball?
Okay, get lost.
So, thanks, Ryan. Great name, by the way. So, what got me into paintball? A lot of people are like the birthday party thing,
Yes.
But actually, I played paintball for the first time with Yosh Rao and his brothers over at a place called Paintball Hill.
Wow. So
And
you guys really go back. Oh
yeah,
my
we go
God.
back. I was just talking to my mom, just like right before I walked down here. I hung up with her right when I walked in because she did an interview for the Iron Kids documentary that's coming out. And she's like, they asked how long you've known Yosh, and it's been a long time. And I said, you guys were like elementary school. I was like, no, we went to preschool together.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
So preschool, kindergarten, the whole deal. We even moved to San Diego to go to college at the same college.
Jesus.
Which is actually kind of like the odds of that happening are really
insane.
Yeah, because we both got accepted into one of the same exact school. So really cool story there. But that's kind of a little bit how we started. And then every kid on our block all got paintball guns, and so we literally played paintball in our backyard. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day after school, we'd come back. We'd all have like a bag of 500 paintballs, which cost us $6 a bag.
Now, could that happen today in today's gamer environment?
Gamer environment? No. I think, dude, I have a big theory. Like you've heard me go deep dive on the water.
Yeah.
Like I have a very similar deep dive that you could draw a parallel with like the spike in the evolution of online gaming.
Yes.
It's not just regular gaming. It's online gaming, right? Your ability to quit and give up is so much easier now these days because you can lose. You can just cuss and yell at the person on the other side and then get your instant gratification and then hang up.
Yeah.
Or just turn the game off and you're like, that loss meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
So you don't really understand how to like deal with losing like you deal with winning. Like we've lost, a lot of people say like, oh, you won so much. Well, I've lost a lot more. I've lost more than anybody, you know what I mean? Like I've lost a lot to get where we're at, Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I hear that.
And being able to deal with that and process it and build from it is really important. And I think that gaming has taken away from that learning environment there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we all just got paintball guns. I mean, people still play in their backyard.
Yeah.
I talk to people all the time. They're like, dude, if you have an acre of land, and we have that's I grew up in the farmlands of Northern California, and we had an acre of land, and every day after school, some of the guys would come over. We outgrew my backyard, and we went to Yosh's, which is like a sick. We did an actual team practice there. One time, 10 on 10, like full-on team practice. So like,
See, when I was a kid, we built a quarter pipe in my backyard.
yeah, that's cool too.
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like that,
Dude,
but again, the kids nowadays, you don't really see that.
Right.
But
I mean, because it is again, it's easier to like buy a video game console.
Yes,
And
exactly.
set that up and then play, and I
And not
appreciate
leave your
that.
room.
And there's now there is a path to a profession that that can go through that,
Yeah.
which there wasn't before, and
Yeah.
you know how it was.
Yeah.
You're gonna waste your life playing video games. Yeah.
is it true that you and I were some kids Make-A-Wish?
It was, yeah. We've done Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff together.
That's very cool.
Can you believe that? We
Now,
actually went.
did
to
you
the kid's
actually?
house,
Okay, yeah, go. I
I
want
went
to
to
hear
his
that.
house and they set up a little paintball field in the
in his
backyard.
backyard because he was in a wheelchair, and
Wow.
we actually went. It was.
But it was
set
a
that up?
small house. The Make-A-Wish
set that up?
Foundation, and it was a radio station also.
Right.
So it's like
It was,
regular bunkers, like inflatable
Yeah,
bunkers.
but it was like on a 10,000 square foot, like 7,000 square foot, like lot. Like they had like a very small
That's a
backyard.
back. That's
That's like Like the paintball field was set up like in this, smaller than this area of this block.
And you totally gogged that kid, right?
Right.
Like,
Reaper bunkered him.
I killed him. No. He put all my stuff on. We pushed him around. But that's the humanitarian this guy is. This guy is such an
Thanks,
amazing
dude.
cat, right?
That's very
This
cool.
is great. So I'm glad that you're doing this interview with him.
absolutely. That's very cool. I love that.
How was that? I didn't get paid for that one.
Okay. Checks in the mail. If you weren't playing paintball, I'm sure you've heard this question before, what would you be doing right now?
What would I? Okay, so there's two parts, right? So if I wasn't playing paintball right now, I'd probably just kind of still be in the same type of thing where like we're pivoting to now, which is running and operating and owning my own business and selling. I went to school for international business,
So
like I feel like I was headed in that direction.
Okay.
Whatever that means exactly. Would I be working in an office or would I be owning something? I don't know. Ideally, like in the back of my mind, I'd be running some sort of company.
That's interesting.
And then if I could do any other sport,
Yeah.
right, I would like to be a professional surfer. That's my big
I could
passion
see
right
that.
now. Big
Yeah, I
passion
could
right
see
now.
that.
That's why I was in Indonesia for 17
real?
years. Yeah.
Dude, I tried catching waves in Bali. That was like crazy.
Yeah, it was heavy. It was
And
it was
Australia,
very scary.
the reefs are insane, so I didn't even want to go there. But and sharks, but that's awesome. Yeah, I got to think. I fear sharks.
Yeah, that's
It's
something
like-
that's always in the back of the mind. There's a lot of sharks in San Diego.
But that's amazing. I don't want to do the typical where do you see yourself in 5 years, because everyone does that question.
Okay. 7 years then?
But where do you see this game in 20 years?
That's really tough to say. The evolution of the sport, I think, has kind of hit its plateau.
You think it's plateaued?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, again, we're in the development and design of paintball guns right now. Like we manufacture paintball guns, field run force, and we did a couple of things that were different than any other other people have done. With our use of different types of O-rings, but for the most part, the platforms haven't changed since that, like the Geo platform came out. That spool valve, that was like the big one, and with our G6R platform, which can shoot a ton of paint. And the lever valve, like, so there's two different types of guns, and where I feel like the game has kind of hit a bit of a plateau because again you're limited on the size. You can't make it much smaller than it is, and you can make it more air efficient. But what are you going to do? And I have a feeling that in 10 years, like I feel like we're going to be playing a different type of paintball. It's gonna be like, I don't know if you've ever seen like if you've ever read Ender's Game or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a modified laser tag, is what I'm kind of foreseeing.
Maybe with like little tasers on the
with little,
inside
like,
or something.
Something like a haptic suit or something along those lines. But you got to think like what can you do if you were to come up, like what would be your most brilliant thing? Like what would you change about the paintball marker itself that you feel would change the game?
Not needing air.
Okay, so having a
Like
small
a-
compressor on it.
Either a small compressor or a strong enough compressed spring system that could like shoot multiple times type of thing. You know what I mean? But something that we
With
don't have to
longevity
rely.
does, rely on high pressure air. That's a great one.
Something or that because
you-
I don't like using air.
Or
you know
maybe
what I mean?
maybe making a smaller tank and having the markers propel the ball out at
Or
like
maybe
such a
even
low
battery
pressure.
operated.
Yeah, and have it quiet too.
Yeah.
'cause it'd be-
Well, I like the sound of paintball.
Right.
That's
okay.
part of the reason why
Well, I'm
I'm
saying
not
to,
an airsoft
to
guy.
generate air at that pressure.
But maybe we won't even need air.
There we go.
Maybe there's some kind of system that you know what I mean?
Lasers. I just said it. You just
But I
took
like
my
the
idea.
impact. No. I like the impact and the ball exploding though.
I do too. I think.
Which
I
is
think
why
that's
I'm
cool,
not
yeah.
into airsoft. I like
Yeah.
seeing the ball explode.
Yeah,
on
there is
impact,
something.
right?
There is something to that. But yeah, that's like one of the things. I was thinking like a different way to change the paint slightly. You could add like an.
See, I'm
RFID
in the mag
chips or
fed, so I
something.
like that.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
You could do something so you can kind of tell who shot who, or if you were actually shot. Those are some things you can do. But yeah, that's the thing is like, what can we do to change the current form?
Okay.
Or the current marker, or even the paintball. Like paintball is made of that water. There's a patent on a water ball that's like a perfectly formed plastic seam that I've seen that makes the paintballs way cheaper and exactly the same every single time that they come out of the
change the whole
machine.
industry.
So that's something. But again, in 10 years, like that'll be obsolete technology as it is, right?
Maybe, yeah.
So making the sports cheaper, make a box of paint $1 instead of $60, that would help out and still make it like profitable somehow. So if you can lower the margins there, but again, we're talking about stuff that I feel is on a much shorter term change, but like to have a big change to the sport 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Playing paintball on Mars, dude.
Yeah.
Talking about, yeah.
One last thing. Something. It doesn't think it too personal, but something people would not know about you.
Let's see. Something that people do not know.
The average paintballer, the guy who watches you play.
I'm partially blind in my left eye.
Really?
Yeah, there's a big scar in it, and so actually, not many people really know this. I had a stick go through my eye when I was a kid. We were playing tag in the dark. Smart idea in the bushes and stuff. And a stick went straight into my eye and scratched my cornea, retina, something like that. So there's like when I move my eye around and like just like this, there's this floating it's like a big hook claw. It's a scar tissue.
Really?
So, yeah. So like every so often, there's like one of the ends has like a little dot on it. So it looks like there's like always like a ball coming out on the side. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In this left eye.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Natural light is where I can see it the most.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you
a
for
wild
sharing
one.
that.
No
That's crazy. That's crazy. He has a weakness, ladies and gentlemen. Superman has kryptonite. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, of
with
course,
us.
dude. Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing.
TJ, are you here? Come here. Quick. We got to thank this gentleman here. He owns a field. He has partners and stuff. This is TJ. Come in a little closer, sir. Come on.
How's it going?
This is the guy who is Paintball Explosion. And thank you very much for having us.
Thank you guys for coming out. We definitely appreciate it. You guys have been coming out since the beginning. So
Let's do it.
Thank you guys so much.
Me, Ryan Reaper, we appreciate you in a huge way because you're like one of the greatest hosts. And I'm not trying to diss out any other hosts at Paintball.
It's going to get exciting.
Yeah. You treat us amazingly. We have always have an amazing time. It's like a family reunion whenever we come here and play.
We appreciate it.
ppbomb.com, that's the website. Paintball Explosion, East Dundee, technically Chicago is the field. Talk to this man if you ever want to have a good time. It's crazy. And I think that's about it. Have you anything else to say?
No, man. I really appreciate what you do with the social media. I mean, you were on the show the one time, and we talked about that specifically. So I do appreciate everything you do in your realm for paintball. I think it's rad.
Thank you,
And
brother.
I'm stoked to always come out here. I'm glad I get to come out. This is my one fun weekend, and I know that. And Camille knows. She's like, I know you have fun on those ones. I'm like,
He does.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
Like, it's the one I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have fun winning and playing tournament paintball. And I do think that everybody needs to take a step back from the tournament side and always play a little rec ball. Because it kind of opens your vision and you understand. Just don't be a jerk to all the
the new kids, like, take it easy. And we've had Lang here, we've had Yosh here, we've had a whole bunch of tournament players, professional tournament players here, and they've always had fun here. I think there's like one player who doesn't like playing in the woods, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for Mr. Ryan Greenspan?
TJ, hello.
And TJ, come on, man. Thank you very much. This is the Wolf Den, and another thank you to Reaper. Can we get a quick round of applause for interrupting us?
Yeah.
And we will see you next
I think
time.
he's eating those people's pizza.
And he loves food. We'll see you next time on the Wolf Den. Have a great day. And check out his website, which is
RyanGreenspan.com.
boom! We're gone.